Morning, Raptor Freak Alexios here. Wednesday morning, we got to play the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. It's our last game before the All-Star break, and we're on a 2-game losing streak. So it's really up or down. Yikes. We're actually in a position in standings right now where we're 1.5 games behind Boston and 1.5 games ahead of Brooklyn. So we have a choice here tonight, guys. We want to go up. We don't want to go down towards Brooklyn. We want to get closer to Boston, who's widened our gap by blowing out the Philadelphia 76ers last night. Boy, did Boston blow out Philadelphia last night. And Philly didn't help us at all with all that. But once again, a team above us had to lose, so there was something good in it. And there were other teams above us that lost last night also, like Cleveland. So tonight, Minnesota, this is a super tough test, but we have a couple of things in our favor. They played last night. They had to play Charlotte last night. So we're playing them on the second night of a back-to-back. And the game last night went into overtime. So they were losing to Charlotte most of the game. Charlotte was doing a good job. They have Montrezl Harrell now, and they were doing a lot of good things, Charlotte. But in the fourth quarter, D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns turned it on. And they came back and they will put it in overtime, and then they executed and won in overtime. And the impressive thing about that was they did it without Anthony Edwards, who got a sprained right ankle in the fourth quarter and had to leave the game and didn't return at that point. So we don't know if he's going to play tonight. He's actually been killing it for them lately, scoring a really high number lately. And if he doesn't show up tonight, I'm not going to be upset. But it's the kind of injury where it could be that he just shows right back up and doesn't miss a beat. But it does help us that they played last night in overtime game. So we really can't be the team that looks flat. We really can't be the team that looks like they have no energy tonight. There's no excuse. After the performance on Monday and how poorly we looked energy-wise against New Orleans, we need to improve on this right away tonight against Minnesota. And because they're on the second night of a back-to-back, we need to be the team that looks like it's quickest to the loose balls, that's just got a step foot faster than the other team just in general. Because I'm going to tell you what, this Minnesota team is stacked with talent. Karl Anthony Towns, we know about him already. He's really their only big that is skilled. They have other bigs on their team, but he's the only one who's really dangerous, obviously, because he's an all-around player. He's really a top talent in the NBA. But a lot of their other bigs are just young guys who aren't really well known or really that good anymore. And overall, looking at the height test, we beat them pretty good with our length overall. So with Karl Anthony Towns, I really hope we can get guys like Chris Boucher, Precious, Kem to really hound him and give him some trouble. And because Anthony Towns is a certain kind of center, I think we can get away with our normal starting lineup. But if there is a problem in the first 2 minutes of the game, get that hook ready, Nick, and hook somebody out and get Kem Birch in there right away, just to do some controlling of Karl Anthony Towns early. Because once again, we don't need the center of the other team establishing all kinds of great things for the offense of the other team just because they're able to operate at free will, do whatever the fuck they want down low, because that's not the way you want to start the game. That just isn't. And then, of course, they got D'Angelo Russell now, which is very interesting. I always forget that he's on this team now. He's still a very dangerous scorer. He went on Twitter this week, and he chastised the Minnesota fans for being too quiet in the arena. They're having problems with fans coming there and being kind of lackadaisical and sleepy there also. So he said something on Twitter, and they came alive last night for them. They did a good job of cheering them on in that overtime victory. Let's see who's here this morning. Good morning. It's Kawhi Leopard. Hey, long time no see. What's up, man? Always good to see you. Tom Duke's here. Morning. Minnesota is in trouble tonight. I sure hope so, Tom. I want to get closer to Boston, and I don't want to get any closer to Brooklyn, because I like being above Brooklyn and I like being above Boston. So why can't we get closer to that? We'll see. Kyrie, what's up? Good morning, Kyrie. Kawhi Leopard, let's go, Brandon, and go Truckers go. The start of the morning live show. Well, I'm not with you on both of those, but that's fine. I can allow anybody of different political persuasions to come and interact with me on here. It's fine. Kyrie, Edwards might sit out with his knee. Yeah, I was just talking about this. He got hurt last night, couldn't finish the game last night. It was just what it was. hopefully he's not ready for tonight. And hopefully Fred is ready for tonight. I really think Fred will play tonight, but he is on our injury list right now for questionable. That's really the injury list right there. Edwards and Fred. And we'll see who shows up and who can play. Tom Duke saying next 5 opponents, Wolves, Hornets, Hawks, Nets, Pistons would all be good wins and all are doable. I agree, Tom. They really are wins that we can get. These are mostly teams that we've already beaten. The Nets back-to-back is going to be an epic back-to-back where we'll see if like Ben Simmons is actually playing for them finally. They're still a mess in some ways. Kyrie still can't play in a lot of these games. He won't be able to play against us because he can't play in his home arena and he can't play here in Canada. So we won't see Kyrie Irving at least in those Nets games. So, all right, let's see. Kawhi Leopard saying the Pelican game is proof that we need a center. I tend to agree with you, but I still think that we have the center. I just think that Nick's not utilizing Kem correctly. Like he should start him against Jokic and against Jonas. He should be starting him because he's giving them an unfair advantage right at the beginning of the game. And the other team is just getting into their offensive game so easy. And I'm like, why do we do this? You could just put Kem in because as soon as we put Kem in, he can handle them pretty good. So I think Kem is our center that we need. It's just we need to play him and play him better. It's crazy. Race Mode Daily, let's start that winning streak again. Yes, Race Mode. I feel like you're a friend of mine that I know. I appreciate you every single day coming here and saying something. Seymour Pape. Hit the likes. It helps. Thank you, Seymour. And also, I really need more subscriptions, guys. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscriptions. I've got some good groundwork done this week, asking for y'all to hit that red like button, that red subscribe button, because I'm getting closer, y'all, and I really appreciate it because I want to get to 1,000 subscriptions because then YouTube opens up for you and you can do a whole bunch of cool stuff. So keep helping me. If you see my stream today and you think I've said something that you enjoyed or something insightful, please hit the subscribe button so I can keep going on YouTube and keep giving you guys good content and stuff like that, Raptors content. Let's see. Kyrie saying Fred probably will play because he's had 3 days rest after that, then off to All-Star weekend. Yeah, I hope Fred will play. He had a couple days rest. He did play in the last game. It's just that he had to come out at a certain time. He didn't play in the second half anymore. But, I hope Fred plays because obviously we need everybody. And these guys need to right this ship right now because we don't want to go into the All-Star break with a 3-game losing skid. What happens is the guys, it's the kind of thing where it's like you feel what you played the last game, and that's a whole week off. And over the All-Star break, they're going to be stewing on it. They're going to be pissed off. And maybe that might be a good thing. That may be the one positive of losing the game tonight. But I don't want them to lose tonight because I don't want them to go through this whole week off of a 3-game losing streak. We need to right the ship tonight. We can't slide any further in this play-in bracket. We need to get closer to Boston. Oh, yeah. Tom Duke, did you see Embiid try hard and step sideways? Egregious is what Monty would call it. Well, I don't know how quick his step is compared to James, but that's hilarious. Yeah, I did see the footage of James Harden in practice teaching Joel Embiid some of his moves. Yeah, I'm still not buying this whole setup with this. I mean, I really do feel like James Harden is in some sort of stratosphere with his ego at this point, that it's like, it doesn't matter what team he's going to go to. He's going to find an issue. He's going to become a problem at some point eventually. And he's saying that this is where he wanted to be all along. I'm so glad I'm finally in Philadelphia. See, that's messed up, man. You took so long and went all around and you messed up a whole bunch of different people's lives in different ways. Like Steph Curry tweeting that Seth did not want to go to Brooklyn. He was very happy playing in Philadelphia for his father-in-law, Doc Rivers. And now you broke up a family, James Harden. You made this son-in-law have to not play for his father-in-law anymore. And now he's on Brooklyn. He wanted to play for Doc. And now he has to go help the Nets, man. James Harden is such a punk. But, yeah, we'll see how long it takes to have things screwed up in Philly. Oh, yeah. Seymour Pape saying Trent needs a good game. It helps, too. Oh, my gosh. Yes, Seymour. Trent needs to get going again, get his rhythm back, and just start making those shots. I want him to start doing this James Harden step back, kind of sidestep kind of stuff again, because his rhythm has been really bad the last 2 games. He's just a little off for some reason. I don't know what it is. Hopefully he can find his old self again that was here a week or so ago when he was bombing 30-point games and stuff like that. We need that Gary Trent back ASAP. Oh, yeah, we do. Kawhi Leopard saying who we can pick up in the buyout market. Yeah, I'm not even sure who's on that buyout market at this point. I know Dragic is now because San Antonio bought him out and he's out there. And everybody's saying he's such an attractive buyout target. Really? Is he that attractive? And on the buyout market, I don't think Dragic is that attractive. Go ahead, Lakers. Go get Goran Dragic. That'd be hilarious. I want to see that. That's actually who I want to get him so bad right now. I want the Lakers to get Dragic, because we still get to play the Lakers twice this year. And I want to see us kick some team's ass with both LeBron and Goran Dragic on it. Oh, yeah. I want to see that, baby. Woo. All right. Yeah, I don't know who it's going to be, man, because it's really changing. Like, we don't even know who all's going to be on the buyout market still. And Bobby said he's waiting and seeing who all's going to be available, and then he's going to assess and make the decision, because apparently we are one of the teams with the most money on the buyout market to do things. So in some ways, we kind of control a little bit of the buyout market and what's going to happen. Seymour saying, is Myers Leonard banned from the NBA? That's a name. Yeah, wasn't he on Miami or something like that, and now he's just gone or something? I haven't heard that name play in a while. It could be that way. Wasn't one of those guys in trouble for like saying some stuff on a live stream on Twitch or something? I thought that was Duncan Robinson, though. But maybe it was Myers Leonard or something, because he did say some shit that was kind of messed up. I think it was anti-Semitic and some other things like that. So it could be, this kind of shit happens. If people like, Colin Kaepernick, different people are going to get, blackballed, put out of the league for their politics and different things. Well, if somebody's going to shoot their mouth off in a racist way or in kind of ways like that, yeah, they might get the door, especially in a very socially progressive league like the NBA. So, yeah, I haven't heard that name in a while. So you might be right, Seymour. He might have gotten banned from the league and just down on the down low. We don't even know it. Andrew saying James Harden is the problem. Yeah, Houston, we have a problem, and it's James Harden. Brooklyn, we have a problem, and it's James Harden. Philadelphia, well, let's see how long it takes till you have a problem. Yes, let's go, Andrew. Woo! Yeah, all right. Seymour Pape is saying James Kardashian Harden. Yes, Seymour, you're on fire today. Yes, that's awesome. G's saying Boston blew out Philly with 2 6'9" centers, and they are playing tight rotations. Man, that White addition to them, Derek White, has been a good addition, and they're playing at a high level. I hate Boston so much. Why can't you falter? Have some problems, please, Boston. I want y'all to lose whatever you've got going right now before the All-Star break. I want you to lose it over the All-Star break, and when you come back, hopefully you can have a skid that's a losing streak instead of a winning streak, because I'm sick of seeing that they won every morning. I don't want to see the Boston winning games. Sue, good morning, everybody. Sue's here. Always good to see Sue, one of the originals, one of the first people that start watching my channel in September when I first put this up, y'all. Seymour Pape at Sue. Hey, what's up? I love the little emoticons. All right, Sue's saying also, yes, G, Boston beat 76ers by 48 points. That is ludicrous. They are on fire. I don't know if that says more about the Celtics or about the Sixers that they can lose like that. I mean, Embiid played. They've got guys playing that were normally there. It's just they don't have Harden still, and they didn't have Ben Simmons before. So this really shows like maybe the Sixers have some problems, because you know what? When we play the Sixers, we get them in the same kind of problems that Boston gets them in. It's the same kind of thing. A high energy, lengthy team can do some problems to the Sixers. I love it. Lumpy Rex is here. Raptor Freaks, assemble. It's like the Avengers. Lumpy Rex, a new resident of the Six. He's in the Six now. Lumpy Rex came from the Winnipeg, and now he's in Toronto, and he's loving it. It's gotten a little warmer, hasn't it, Lumpy? I told you that days when you just got here, that was not normal Toronto weather. That was super deep freeze kind of stuff. Oh, yeah. All right, Andrew's got the awesome little dinosaur going here. All right, Kawhi Leopard said, I got to go after I'll finish watching the video recorded. Peace out. Bye. I just want to say real quick, Kawhi Leopard, we're going to try out something new this week on this channel on Friday night, guys. I'm going to watch the Rising Stars Challenge at 9 p.m. Eastern Time live online. Through the live stream, I'll be watching it. So if you guys want to have a little commentary during the Rising Stars Challenge while you're watching it, you can have the Raptor Freak there making his observations and saying his little crazy shit during it. It may be a little bit of lag just because I don't know how it's going to work with me watching it and then putting it on and stuff like that. But if anybody's interested, we're going to try out the live stream watch along with the Rising Stars Challenge at 9 o'clock on Friday night. So mark that out down. If you're going to watch it anyway, maybe put me on the computer just with me being the little peanut gallery to the side of you while you're watching it, because I might say something funny about what's going on in there. It was requested, so we're going to try it out with the All-Star Weekend before I try and do any full game live watch along. Okay, all right, let's keep going. Tom Duke saying, you all assembled Rex. Yes, Tom Duke, you know it's coming. It's going to be coming real soon. Let me just read some more of these comments, and then you'll get the real mascot matchup for tonight. Oh, yeah. Sue saying, Myers Leonard said a bunch of racist BS, and Miami traded him to Oklahoma City, and they waived him, and he hasn't played since. Okay, that sounds about right. Thanks, Sue, for filling in the blanks. That's right. He was on a live stream on Twitch playing video games, and he said a lot of racist things, and Miami wasn't having it. I mean, listen, you can't say stuff like that when you're a public figure and you play for a team. You know, it's like, you know, we're in an evolved world. Anybody who's still racist and has all these issues with people and different things and judging them for just who they are and what they look like, you know what? You're going to get left behind. And more are going to get canceled. And that's just what happened with Miles Leonard is he's canceled. And I don't disagree with it, you know. Hey, that's how it goes. Andrew saying Seth Curry mattered a lot more to the Sixers than people thought. He's a good player, and they just traded him like nothing. Yeah, Brooklyn really, man, they you know, that was smart of Brooklyn to demand that because they kind of messed up Philly. I'm not gonna lie, Philadelphia had been rolling. Philadelphia may be playing the best they played since Jimmy Butler played for them right now, and now they kind of messed up their chemistry. This is what I'm saying at the trade deadline. You make a move for the sake of making a move. Sometimes you fuck something good up. And I think Philadelphia may find out that they really regret what they did at the trade deadline. Not because of getting James Harden necessarily, but because of losing guys like Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. That's the other one. Drummond was like supposed to be a big strength for them off the bench, and they just let that go too. Oh, it's really going to be interesting to see how it all pans out. We'll see. Tom Duke saying, so cool. Looking forward to the watch along already. All right, awesome. I know Tom will be there. Hopefully some more of y'all will join me 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not going to do something in the morning because we're going to try and do something in the evening instead. I'm only doing one live stream a day. I'm not going to do the morning live stream on Friday morning, so don't expect that. But 9 p.m. in the PM, so it'll be the AM for Darren. So Darren, get up in the morning on Friday night and watch me with the Rising Stars Challenge. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. I really like the format and I like the teams. I like the legends involved. I met Rick Barry once. He's a really nice guy, and but I'm not rooting for his team. It's all Gary Payton's team all the way, or Isaiah's team because of Precious, of course. So let's keep going. Yeah, we said that about Seth Curry. Really important. Seth Curry is let's see. G said Seth Curry was very important. Harden with his injuries probably missed games. Now they lack shooters. Yeah, Philadelphia is. I mean, they got Danny Green, but he's hot and cold. We know that. Yeah, I think that this deal is going to really screw up both teams in a way. Like, I don't think Brooklyn's going to be any better either. That Ben Simmons is going to really disappoint people, and he's going to be just as much of a disappointment. And the Brooklyn fans will turn on him just like the Philly fans at some point. Oh yeah, that'll happen too. Marlon Toby saying, I'm more worried about Brooklyn Nets than the Sixers now. A healthy KD is now surrounded with more firepower from that trade deadline. That's an interesting point. Well, let's see how quickly KD comes back, and let's see how much they can actually win. Like, they have to overcome a lot to try and get back to where they were at the very top. So I'd like to see them continue to struggle, honestly, because I think that the whole thing with Kyrie in and out, like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, is really hurting them also at this point. Like, they can't get any kind of team consistency because one of their best players is only there for like maybe a third of the games. And that really kind of messes up with your how your consistency and your flow goes when you have your best point guard showing up like every third game, something like that. So Yeah. All right, Sue. Yeah, you can look forward to watch along Friday night, 9 p.m. Yeah, it'll be fun, and I'm really excited about those games too. And hopefully, Scotty has a really good showing, and he becomes the MVP or something of the Rising Stars Challenge, because that could help his Rookie of the Year quest if he does that. All right, G saying Nets have more depth now. Yeah, they might have a little bit more depth, although they were like waving a couple people. Didn't they waive Bembry or something like that after this? It's like, oh my gosh, they waived Bembry. He's actually had to start for them a couple times this year. Seymour Pape. I'm a diehard Raptors fan, but Boston, Philly, Brooklyn looking scary on paper, but their game is played on the court. Go Raptors, go. Yes, Seymour. Yes. Yeah, paper is paper. The Brooklyn Nets have looked so scary on paper for years. The Lakers have looked scary on paper, but there's a reality of what happens in the game and how things all happen. Things have to happen in reality before you just get those wins off the paper. So, you know what? I'm not afraid still. Even with these last two games and the way we've looked, this is not the real Raptor team. When we're clicking and we're playing at the right level, we're fine. And we'll compete with anybody any given night. So we just need to get our heads out of our asses and get our energy right. And tonight, hopefully, that is what's going to happen. Oh, yeah. Yep, exactly. Seymour, the game's played on the court. All right, guys. It's time for the real mascot matchup of the day. It's a serial. They're episodes one after another. So the last time we saw the Raptor, he had just eaten the Pelican, and it was like a seafood popcorn chicken. It was kind of like eating at Captain D's and getting the hush puppies and some fries, maybe Long John Silver's. You guys know those things. And he ate the Pelican, but it was really bad Pelican. Like the Pelican, not only fortunately, he ate a little bit of the Pelican shit also, because, it was just all over the place. And it made him have bad indigestion, and it really hurt. And like, he found himself in another ditch down the road, like in his torn purple shorts. And he's like, why do I feel like crap? I shouldn't have eaten that Pelican. It feels real gross. Like I have indigestion now. And he's just having a hard time. He's walking down the street again. And then he sees something kind of in the trees, like over on the other side of the road. So he's like a couple of ears like this. He's like, what is that over there? And then all of a sudden it like steps out of the woods and he says, come here. Like, okay. And he walks over and it's a wolf. It's a timber wolf. And he's sitting there talking to it. And he's like, what do you want? He's like, you do not know who you are. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, you do not know who you are and where you truly came from. And he's like, whoa. And then all of a sudden the wolf does like a psychedelic, like LSD, like kaleidoscope eyes, like, and the raptor gets drawn into the eyes, and like he's going into a flashback. It's like, and he's like, all of a sudden, he's like in a prehistoric time, and he sees other dinosaurs, but he's not a dinosaur at that point. He sees big, huge Tyrannosaurus Rex, Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Allosaurus, Brontosaurus, all the sauruses all around him, but he's not reptilian at this point. He looks and he sees he's got a furry body, and he's like, what the hell? He's a husky wolf. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'm a wolf. This is a time from before that I didn't remember, that I'm a wolf. And that wolf was right, that I'm like him, that I was a wolf at one point, a husky wolf. And he's like, whoa. And then he comes back. And he comes back and he's with the wolf. And he's like, now I see what you mean, that I am not exactly a dinosaur, that I was a wolf at once also, like you and yourself. He's like, yes, come run with us now. And then they run down the street. Like they're running down the highway, and it's the wolf. And there's other wolves, but they're not with them. They're going to go meet the pack. And the raptor is still just a raptor. He's in his ripped purple shorts, and it's the mascot raptor. It's not a velociraptor. And he's running down the street with a wolf, and like cars are driving by, and they're like, what the fuck is this wolf running with a dinosaur mascot running down the street right now? Everybody's like doing double takes, and like he went running with the wolves. And then all of a sudden, as he's running down the highway, he transforms into the husky wolf himself, and he starts running with the wolf. Well, they get back to the pack of wolves, and the original timber wolf and the original husky are like only one of you can be the pack leader is what the pack is saying. And like, oh my gosh. So it's a Husky versus the Timberwolf. And boom, they're at it in the middle in the fight. And oh my gosh, all of a sudden in the middle of the fight, the Husky gets these eyes like a snake, like really light eyes, and it goes dun 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 dun, and he starts changing. He starts evolving, and he becomes a Velociraptor from Jurassic Park. He becomes the Electroraptor in the middle of the fight, and he just absolutely brutalizes the Timberwolf. And he becomes the pack leader after that. And so now he's an Electroraptor with a pack of Husky wolves that follow him around now. Yeah. So this is real weird now. So yeah, that's the real mascot matchup of the day. And I know it was a little longer and a lot more to it, but there you go. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. Your reactions to this crazy story. Seymour saying Bucks getting Ibaka is a crazy addition. I don't know about that. Ibaka's a little past his prime. He got a little washed in the washing machine of the Clippers over there. Like, he had a couple of injuries. He was already starting to show decline when he was on the Raptors in his last year. And, he's up there. I'm not afraid of Ibaka. I think it's fun to play Ibaka. I think that we can mess him up because our guys are younger than him. And they can probably do some things to him and control him pretty good. He's the kind of center that we can control. I really think the Bucks specifically got Ibaka because of us, because we swept them in the regular season and we beat them every time in the playoffs. And Ibaka was a big part of why we beat them in the Eastern Conference Finals that year when we won the championship. So I think that Ibaka purely was a move by the Milwaukee Bucks to try and figure out the Raptors. Why not go get a former cook from our kitchen and try and figure out our secret recipe? But I think that this cook may be too old, and I'm not as afraid of him. Honestly, I don't think he's going to get to play a lot. Like, he's going to be an end of the bench guy, and he'll be getting spot duty here and there. I love Ibaka. I want him to continue to do well, but honestly, we got to be realistic here that this guy is older. And he's not, if he's a step slower, and he's not as big and badass as he used to be. That's what I'm saying. Okay. All right. Let me see what's going on here. All right. G saying Philly did Nets a favor. Shouldn't you not be helping teams in your division? I know. It's like they did do them a favor in a way. They did do Brooklyn a favor in some ways, but in a way, maybe it'll still come and bite them in the ass still. Like, I really hope Simmons doesn't work out there. That's the whole thing you got to say is, like, you don't want either of these two big superstars to work out. You don't want Harden to work out in Philly, and you don't want Simmons to work out in the Nets. That there's going to be some sort of personality conflict, hopefully, between Kyrie and Ben Simmons, and maybe there'll be some issues with James Harden and Joel Embiid a lot sooner than we think, too. So, all right, Tom Duke saying bad Pelican. Yeah, back in the ditch. I'm telling you, that Pelican, it gave us some severe indigestion, really had us shitting all over the side of the road because it was just a bad Pelican meat and just shittiness inside of it. It's just how I feel about the game the other night, personified, really. But yeah, Tom Duke saying, so intriguing. These matchups will be redone in Japanese anime. Epic. You know what? That would be kind of cool. Like, they should, maybe somebody who's a talented artist and wants to rip off my stories. You can make my stories into an anime comic book if you want. If you want to take these narratives and what I'm doing here and make them into little mini comic books, like the old He-Man comic books you got when you got a He-Man figure when you're in the 80s, go ahead. I'll give you full rights. I'm not going to be proprietary of my great stories. They're so bad, but they're fun. They're fun. Seymour saying not a bad idea. Honestly, it could be if it's done really well with ultra violence and like really drawn, really cool and stuff like that. It could be cool. Electroraptor, and now he's got a pack of wolves, a pack of Huskies that have follow him and help him out, man. I'm glad I brightened your day, Tom Duke. It's awesome. Paul B, good morning. Good to see Paul B. Another original. We're going to win tonight. We just need to play hard. And if someone's shot's not falling, they need to figure out a way to score in other ways. If their shots aren't falling, go to the other guy. Look to the other dude. Pass it. 8 assists the other night is just not good enough, Raptors. Y'all need to move the ball better. And I don't think it's these other teams totally stymieing you. I think it's just that you forgot how to do the flex offense in the last game. Because when that flex offense is working, I've never seen y'all cultivate such great shots. And like making that extra action pass that Nick Nurse talks about is working so well. So get back to that bread and butter that y'all were doing, because it manufactures a great offense. And on Monday night, we did not have a great offense. We really struggled. We had a hard time making shots. And I think partly it was because we weren't doing the flex offense correctly. So get rededicated to doing that little like passing at the top of the key where you guys fake pass it, or you pass it, or you give yourself a little screen, get yourself a little more freed up, and then do another one in the next side. And you know what I'm saying? Curl into the lane and take that little baby jumper there, Gary. You know, we just need to get the open shots manufactured again. And this team tonight is going to be very similar to New Orleans. They got some good length at different places, but overall they're much shorter than us. Like they're big guys. Like some of their big guys are only 6'6". So we tower over this team overall. Karl Anthony Towns may be taller than us, but listen, he's kind of a David Robinson kind of center. He's not a big bulky guy. He's kind of a skinnier finesse kind of center, and that really bodes well against our kind of defensive centers, Kem Birch, Precious, and Chris Boucher. But we really need to contain him better than we contained Jonas and Jokic. And we need to also watch out for D'Angelo Russell and Edwards if he plays. We can't let these two guys' scorers go off and get crazy. Edwards last night had a bad game. He did not shoot well. He had been hot before that, shooting like made 37 points in the game before. And then last night he had a dog of a game, and maybe he won't be playing tonight. We'll see. So we'll see what's up. Tom Duke, the Electro Raptor. Yeah. Tom Duke's also saying Wolves, Hornets, Hawks, Nets, Pistons going down. Tom is all about looking ahead. We got one game, and then we got the All-Star break, and then all those games will come. That crazy back-to-back, day off, back-to-back, day off, back-to-back, 3 back-to-backs in a row as soon as we get back from the All-Star break. It's going to be crazy. So let's see. Yeah, Bucks got Bembry now too. Oh my gosh, the Bucks went and got DeAndre Bembry off of the buyout market. Crazy. Well, good for them. They get all of our guys from like a year or two ago. That's fine. Seymour Pape saying we need fans back in the building. Yes. And G saying March 1st, full capacity, I heard. Yeah, hopefully we're done. We're done with this bullshit of not having fans in our building. And when they come back from this road trip, that finally come back with that Brooklyn game, the second night of the back-to-back, hopefully we will have full capacity that night against the Nets. Oh, my gosh. I'm so sick of dealing with no fans in the building. We realize how much we really give to them and help them, and we can never, ever come with the wrong effort again. We need to come, like, think about how the team came out on Monday night and were flat and couldn't hit a shot. We can't have crowds that come to the arena and act flat and don't help the team with energy. We have to come for real, correct, because they have so much time away from us, whether it's in Tampa last season or this bullshit this year of us being the only team in the league with no fans in the stands. We have to come back 200 times, 300 times more than we used to be, just to make up for lost time, lost energy, and really show the advantage that the building, when it is full, the Scotiabank Arena is the hardest place to play in the NBA. We need to make it that again. And like I said, fans, when you come back, be loud and cheer for them, whether they're down 30 or up 30. I don't care what the score is. We need to be loud regardless. Every time the other team has the ball, it's defense. I don't care if you cheer on offense, because sometimes in a way it's good to be quiet when we have the ball, but when the other team has the ball, defense, very loud, because it can be really, really good advantage for our team. It becomes a college basketball atmosphere in there, and that is how college basketball teams win, is their crowd gets rowdy, Cameron crazies, all these other fantastic college basketball atmospheres. We have that on the pro level in our building, and we need to show it again in full effect, because we have not been there and they have lacked and hurt for it. And we need to make up for that. Oh, my gosh, we got to make up for that so much. G saying, I hope they start Birch, but whom comes off the bench? I think that he's just going to continue to do the starting lineup. It's just he's going to have a quick hook. And it could be, it's like I said, if somebody gets 2 fouls right away, whether it's OG or Pascal or, Gary or Scotty, hook. and put Kem in right away. I think that Towns is a different kind of center than Jokic or Jonas. It's about the weight and being able to throw it around and kind of just do it that way. I mean, sure, he could probably dominate us still, but because he's a more finesse, skinnier center, that we can play him more straight up and be okay. In fact, I kind of want Pascal to guard him tonight because Pascal's the right guy for him. I don't even think Scotty's the right guy to guard him because Pascal seems a little longer, a little quicker, and a little more experienced. And it's not, and OG I know will probably get up guarding too also. So we'll see. Sue's saying if we start Birch, I think Scotty should come off the bench then. I think Sue's right. And I've been saying this all along. Scotty can come off the bench and be a real boon for us off the bench. Like, especially if he's coming off the bench with the intent to try and score and be aggressive out there scoring. And that's something that I'd like to see is like, I understand that part of the reason why they continue to start him is because they don't want to hurt his rookie of the year chances. And they also want to make sure that he's continuing to get as much reps and time on the court with the main starting guys because that's who they want him to play with. But in some cases, this may be the best thing for the team as far as like defensive presence against bigger guys with Birch or just having better scoring off the bench with Scotty. This seems like a broken record that we've been saying since the beginning of the year, that originally that this was something we kept saying, start Birch and bring Barnes off the bench. And people were like, no, keep Scotty in the team on the starting lineup because he's doing fine. So I don't know. I agree with Sue. I think, and I don't think it's Gary because even though Gary's been slumping right now, you get in trouble possibly putting him into a bad place like he was in Portland if you jerk him around too much between the starting lineup and the bench, Gary. So I don't think it's Gary that you can do that with at this point. I think Scotty will be fine because he's still a young rookie and it's a vet. You're bringing in a vet to start, and it's a positional reason. So it should be fine. Seymour Pape, my neighbors already complain about me yelling at the damn refs. No lie. This is a real one. Seymour is a real one. My neighbors do too. They probably hear me doing these live streams every morning. They're like, what the fuck is this guy talking so much, so loud for like an hour every morning around 9 o'clock? They probably hear me right now. Like the dog barks at me when they come outside. Like the dog can hear me definitely. He hates me, that dog next door. Oh my gosh. Because he can hear me. Oh yeah. Sue's saying, there's yelling at my place too. See, you can tell where Raptors freaks are by their yelling. It's like a telltale sign. There's people yelling in there. There must be Raptor freaks in there, something like that. Anyway, guys, I don't know. It's a preview. I don't need to talk too much about things today. I did my real mascot matchup. The injury report, once again, Fred is questionable today because of his knee soreness. I hope that he plays. I mean, he's about to go on the All-Star break, so there's no reason why he can't just play tonight, just play a little bit. And then, on the other side, Edwards got hurt last night late with his ankle, and maybe he won't be playing tonight, but who knows? He could be playing too. So both teams could be at pretty much full strength. But yeah, that was really impressive that Minnesota won overtime game against Charlotte, came back in it, but they're going to be tired. They played an overtime game last night, and they're on the second night of a back-to-back. They need to look like the team that has done that and not us. Like, we've had a day off, and we should be fresh, and we should be feeling the sting of a really bad 30-point loss to New Orleans Pelicans and wanting to change that from being the last outcome that we've dealt with. And that's really the choice. Do you want to lose tonight and be closer to Brooklyn in the play-in bracket, or do you want to win tonight and be closer to Boston and getting out of the play-in bracket? That is the choice, Raptors. And if you choose, it's not that you should get to choose to not play well and you end up being on a 3-game losing streak. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and deal with that for a whole fucking week until you get to come back and play Charlotte again the Thursday after a week from tomorrow. So listen, don't make the right choice, Raptors. Make sure that you execute and you aren't going on break with a guilty feeling of, I did not win these games recently and I hate it. You don't want that. You want to go to the beach and feel comfortable and happy where you go. Oh, yeah. All right, let's keep going. G saying, I think Scotty should start games against teams with smaller centers. See, I think that's what he'll do. Gee, I think that is what he's going to do. And Nick did say he has to reassess how he deals with the centers and the matchups and stuff like that. And I think he's starting to realize, dependent on who the other center is on the other team, he may have to start Kem Birch. And I really hope that he's really seriously going to start doing this when we come back from the All-Star break. Who knows? Like I said, Nick and the coaching staff are going to work over this All-Star break, and they're going to look at a lot of things, and there may be some different adjustments with our game plan, our rotations, who's doing what for us, even when we get back. And that could be really interesting, especially with the buyout market and the possibility of getting another new player that can super help us, really, really help us. Okay, about 40 minutes. We got to keep Karl Anthony Towns contained. If we can get him under 20 points tonight, that'd be really good. Watch out for D'Angelo. Obviously, he's a dynamic scorer in this league. He's somebody that we really need to keep track of. We got the right guys to do it. Because listen, D'Angelo's only 6'4", and we've got all these guys who are 6'7" to 6'9", and they're quick. Like OG can tie up D'Angelo Russell pretty good, and he just needs to do it and have a better game, OG. None of this three-point game like from Monday night. These guys need to score, and they need to try and work towards high percentage, easy open shots, no matter how. They got to use the flex offense. They got to pass the ball. They got to move without the ball and look for the people that are moving without the ball and get it to them. And I love the lobbing it down low with our big guys on little guys. And that should happen more tonight, too, because they have a lot of small players in their rotation. And we should be able to get those mismatches of height and body with OG down low and just getting the ball up court quick to him and him getting easy dunks on a little guy. So hopefully we'll see a lot of that tonight also. All right, let's go, Raptors. We have to win tonight. We do not want a bad taste in our mouth for a week. This is so important, Raptors. Please don't let us down. All right, let's go, Raptors. Beat the Timberwolves. We are the lead wolf in that pack because we were the first Huskies in this league in 1946-47. And don't you forget that, Timberwolves. We were the original wolf in this league. Woo! Yeah! Woo!